Hi, Gemini. All right, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a reading for you, of course. So this will be for Geminis and Gemini placements. Let's see what's coming up for you, Gemini, what you can expect to happen, and what's your storyline. All right, let's see what's going on with my gemstones. Give me some messages for my Geminis and Gemini placements. What's coming up for them at this time? Okay. All right, so we have Temperance here. We have the Five of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Three of Pentacles. This could be, sorry guys, I know the light is so bright. Three of Pentacles. This could be a work situation for sure for you, or has to do with some type of system in your life. So like maybe you and a group of other people that do things together. You guys have a shared interest or goal at hand. Let's see what's going on with this. Seven of Wands. Okay. You feel, even though you have like a group of energies around you, whether this is like your friends, a family system, or even work, you feel kind of like you're backed into a corner with the Seven of Wands. You could feel like you're having to prove something all by yourself. And it's kind of weird because why are you doing all the work yourself, or why are you proving something all by yourself? Why is everything being placed upon you? So I don't know if there's like an investigation going on. I don't know if someone is testing you, but it feels like you're the only one who's being held accountable here. And you, even though you have a system or a group around you, you feel kind of alone, like no one's having my back in this. Aren't we all in this together? Why is nobody having my back? So you're having to prove something on your own. I feel like you do have an alibi, but this person is not part of this group, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, for example, say you did like a project at work with a group of coworkers and something turned out to be faulty. Everyone's pointing the finger at you, or maybe like the manager, the boss is placing a lot of blame on you. Everyone should be held accountable. And the only help that you're getting is from someone that this has nothing to do with. So it's kind of like you appreciate the help, but you know, your word doesn't really, your word or your help is not really of use. I can't use your support to get me out of this mess. Okay, so I don't know what is going on here. All right. Now Temperance is here, so this tells me that you had really good intentions with whatever this is, but for some reason there's a lot of blame, or you're getting caught in the crossfire of a mess or something that went wrong, something that malfunctioned. Okay, so you had great intentions here. You didn't overdo anything. I feel like you've done just what you're supposed to do. Some reason the blame is being pointed at you. We have the Five of Cups, so I do feel like this has left you, or this will leave you feeling really sad, or you keep, even if the situation has moved on, right? Like, say the investigation has moved on, your boss has gotten off of your back, whatever the situation is with friends or family, or maybe even in your relationship has moved forward. You haven't moved on from what happened because it deeply affected you, and you're kind of staying stuck on that fact. So you have an alibi here too. Someone's trying to lift your spirits, or someone's telling you, I always got your back. You never have to worry about me. But you can't get over what happened, what transpired within this system or this group. It's really bothering you. You may feel like something was very unfair or unjust. Something was effed up. And with the Knight of Pentacles, I see you just being very slow to moving on from that. I also feel like the truth that will liberate you from this mess, it takes a long time for that to be spoken about or to be believed for whatever reason. So this is one of those situations where it's like, I told you so. You are the person that is saying I told you so, but no one is catching on in that moment when you're trying to free yourself from something. No one's hearing your viewpoint. No one's taking your side that matters of the situation. It almost comes at a later date that your whatever you stance you were trying to prove is proven to be right. So, that sucks when you know that you're telling the truth, or you know that your hands are clean, but you're not being validated until later on. That's what this feels like. Let's see what this is about. Clarify temperance. Temperance is also like the universe telling you, give it some patience. You're like, if you're trying so hard to control the situation, you really, really want your truth to be spoken. It's just not the timing. Like, have patience. It's going to come out at a later time. It does suck though. Okay. So what's the temperance here? Ace of Swords. Okay, so again, this has something to do with some type of truth coming out, having clarity over a situation, or even closure about a situation that could have painted you in a negative light. You're like, even if people keep saying to you like, "Oh, this is small, Gemini," like, just get over it. You can't get over it because someone lied on you, or there's a lie going on around that is not true. So this definitely has to do with the truth or clarity about a situation. You feel like things are not settled. You don't feel like things are set in stone. All right. Judgment. All right. So you're wanting like a retrial, like if this was in court, you're like, no, retrial. There's been some inconsistencies here. You need to look at this again. All right. With that judgment energy, you feel like I'm being misjudged here. I had nothing to do with this. This really isn't my fault. You're wanting someone to re-look into this, but it almost is like everyone else has moved on with the world card. Like everyone has distanced themselves from this. Everyone has closed that chapter, but you're like, no, let's open that chapter again because we're going to get this right. So I don't know why this feels like work. All right. What else can you tell me about this? Tell me about the culprit. All right, culprit. So I asked who's the culprit here. We have the King of Swords. So it could be a masculine first and foremost. Also, this person is very like cold and detached. Like they could be very self-serving. They could not care about how this is affecting you. They could just be like, okay, I'm scotch free, so I really don't care how this affects Gemini. So it feels like someone who's very cold, very detached, maybe a little bit mean, okay? And someone who doesn't really have an empathetic energy. So even if they see that you're going down for something, it's like they turn the other cheek. They don't care. All right. Let's see what else is here. Tell me more about this King of Swords. And what a weirdo. All right, so I'm sorry. What a weirdo. All right, so we have the Page of Cups here. I do feel like someone is going to apologize to you, or they could be trying to avoid confrontation, because the Page of Cups is someone who's emotionally sensitive, or in better terms in this situation, a weak ass bitch. Oh. Emotionally weak. Okay, like they can't take the hot seat. So it feels like they give you some cheap apology about what has transpired. It doesn't settle right with you. It doesn't fix things for you. It's like, okay, you can apologize, but set the record straight. We also have the Empress here. So I feel like this person thinks very highly of you. You may inspire this person in a way. They see you as very abundant. Like whatever you're a part of, whatever you have your hands on, whatever you set your mind to, you really have a very creative spirit and you grow it. So like if you're in a group situation, you know, you being part of this group really enhances the quality of the work that comes out of that group. You have a lot of creativity to lead people with creativity. Whatever you touch turns to gold, like that Midas touch energy. So this person really values, or they really like, and they probably want to embody within themselves abundance. Like you have abundance within, you know, whoever comes into your life, you kind of enhance them, or whatever you put your, whatever you have your hands on, whatever actions you take towards your goals, you really enhance it in what's the word I want to use, multiply it in expansive ways. All right, so someone could also be trying to apologize by giving you a compliment, right? But it doesn't serve the fact that they didn't set some record straight, that they didn't stand up for what was right, and that they turned the other cheek when maybe you were getting some consequences of something you had no dealings with. All right. So there's that. So this person's just kind of sitting in the sidelines, maybe feeling like they're untouched of these consequences. But as we know, with the Knight of Pentacles, there's a guarantee that the universe is going to be handing them those consequences. It just may take a little bit of time for people to catch on. Five of Cups is here, so this could be affecting you greatly. I do feel like you have an alibi, someone who has nothing to do with this, that is really trying to uplift your spirits, trying to get you to look at the maybe bigger picture, trying to get you to think more positively and move on from this, but it's not as easy for you. This has been really incriminating in a way. What's the Five of Cups? All right, Four of Pentacles. Again, this is when you're like holding on to something and you can't let it go. So even if you really try your best, Gem, you could find yourself still, this still creeps up in your mind and in your emotions. You can't let it go because it's so painful how things transpired when you really put your best self forward. All right, so it's hard for you to let it go. Again, this alibi, this person's really trying to save you out of like maybe, you know, your misery, your sadness over this, trying to get you to divert your attention, distract you from this, but you have a hard time letting it go with the Four of Pentacles. All right, Ten of Cups. This person is like a good energy, a good vibe. I feel like they're coming with a lot of peace and positivity, but more than that, this is the person that is like your community, your soul tribe, your soulmate, and a friend or a lover. This person really is your safe place. They're trying to give you this sense of comfort. But I don't feel like it's landing very well, at least not at this time with the moon. It's just like you're kind of very clouded by the things that have burdened you from this situation, okay? So there's that. But this person really loves you with the Ten of Cups. Like they really love you. They want what's best for you. They're trying their best to be a good distraction, but you know, it's kind of hard. We also have the Fool here, and I feel like this is just this person trying to distract you with the Fool. Like, you know, trying to make you giggle, trying to make you have a little laugh, trying to divert your attention somewhere else, okay? So I don't know. I don't really think it's working with that Four of Pentacles. You're kind of holding on to what has burdened you, and it makes sense. All right, Knight of Pentacles. There's going to be a little bit of a waiting period before you're vindicated, unfortunately. But when this happens, let's see how that's going to transpire with the Knight of Pentacles. All All right, Nine of Wands. So it is hitting you at a breaking point. This is when you feel like you can't take no more. You could feel very weakened or just feeling almost defeated about the situation or the circumstances or just in that environment, having to be around these people. But once you are at this state, there is some relief that the truth is going to come out. All right, the star on the bottom of the deck, which is wish fulfillment. The stars also help out of a really tough spot. So if you're needing to be saved, you know, by the universe, by this, you really need this to come out so that you can feel better. That's when this is coming in. All right, tell me about the King of Swords when this comes out. Tell me about that person. If this is a romantic reading, I feel like you have a new person in your life, but whoever this air sign is, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or whoever this, you know, weak ass bitch, okay, whoever this person is, you could be waiting on some type of closure because something just was really effed up. Like they didn't take accountability for the role that they played in really hurting you and devastating you in some way. So with that judgment, with the Ace of Swords, something still is not right. You could be talking to this person and having that closure moment, but they're still lying. They're not keeping it real. So even with that judgment, I don't feel like that a second chance happens, or you don't feel pleased by what they have to say. They're not keeping it all the way real with you. Tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles with the King of Swords. All right, Six of Swords. Very interesting. Okay. All right, Six of Swords shows that whoever this King of Swords was trying to like just move on like nothing happened. Obviously, we know that. The Six of Swords is when you're trying to reach a place of peace and like let the drama go. And what sucks for them is that once they feel like they're finally getting that sense of peace, some truth comes out and kind of wrecks that. It kind of wreaks havoc on them. Now, this is karmic because you kind of had to deal with that sadness, that grief, that upset for the longest time. So as you're coming into a sense of peace, this person will not have peace. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. See what else is here? It's like when this person is thinking they're in the clear, some certain karmic things start happening. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, the Hangman. This could stop this person's progress. This could stop their growth. If they were really trying to, like, if this is a career setting, if they felt like they're about to move forward into a really peaceful time in their career, it's, you know, something kind of stops them in their tracks. They get very tangled up in all of these lies that they spewed or the chaos that they caused. If this has to do with this person just romantically, or a friend or a family member who did you wrong, and they feel like they're finally getting a sense of peace in their life, they start to feel very stagnated, like life is not moving forward, like progress has came to a halt. Okay, so that is this person's karma here. What about Gemini? What's happening during this time? Temperance. It's so funny how you started off with Temperance and you come back to Temperance. So you started off very peaceful without a worry in the world. This person does what they do. It kind of like messes with you a little bit with your emotions. You end off in Temperance of being very balanced, feeling peace, feeling like, you know, you're okay, you're stable, you're on stable ground, stable emotions, stable mental health. So you kind of get your peaceful period. This person thinks that they're about to have a very peaceful period and move on scotch-free, but they're going to get some hang up. All right, so I do see that. Tell me about this person here. Your alibi, or this person who's there for you. Anything about that? All right, Three of Pentacles. This person wants to be a partner. They want to be your partner, okay? So they want to be a part of the system. Something messed up in the past with a partnership, but this person wants to step into that role, take over that role, um, for you, to show you that you do have an alibi in whatever this is. So they want to aid you and assist you if this is a career problem that you've been having, or a money problem that someone stopped your money in some way. This person wants to do their part to help you move ahead, move along. If this is romantic, this person wants to be a true partner and companion to help you move along out of those emotions. They're very understanding, all right? And I feel like this person is non judgmental about how you may be feeling. So I just see this person being a true partnership for you. There's also some longevity and like the wheels turning in your favor with this connection. So this feels like someone you should definitely give them a chance or keep them along for the ride. It feels like this person will serve a huge purpose in your life for years to come with that 10 of Pentacles, okay? All right, I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm wishing you guys the best weekend, and I'll see you guys very soon.